Hi, Global Voice community. I'm Betsy Fitzgibbons. Today, Shari Aaron from Radius and I are going to discuss our collaborative voice research project that set the stage for voice strategies for Mars Wrigley. Before we begin, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and even a little bit about Mars. I myself have worked in shopper insights for 15 years, of which the past 2.5 have actually been at Mars. I'm currently the shopper insights lead for e-commerce and new transactions in North America. And I work as I said, at Mars Wrigley, which is part of Mars Inc., which is a global company with over 130,000 associates around the world. And we all follow 5 key values, and we all strive towards the same mission of creating the world we want tomorrow starts with how we do business today. I specifically work with Mars Wrigley, which has over 34,000 employees around the world, 53 factories, $5 billion brands, of which some of them I'm sure you're very familiar with M&Ms to Dove to Snickers to Extra Gum. We're fortunate enough that we sell our products in over 180 countries around the world. We regularly are voted a top place to work, and our purpose at Mars is we believe that the better moments make the world smile. And I have to say, I'm very fortunate for the time that I've been at the company. The work that we get to do does make you smile, makes other people smile. And I feel fortunate that we get to focus on such strong values. And one of them is being ahead of the curve and thinking of forward thinking in our business. And that's why we're here today to discuss how Mars Wrigley has actually pursued voice commerce and voice technology and is trying to get behind this on the early days. So let me ask Shari to introduce herself and her company.
Hey everyone, thrilled to be here today. I'm Shari Aaron. I'm an SVP at Radius. We're a privately held, medium-sized global research firm with a long history of working with terrific clients like Betsy and Mars Wrigley. I too have deep expertise in research and insights. So I lead a client service team of 9 women working closely with clients like Betsy to help brands grow. And I also lead an innovation team where we constantly vet new tools and solutions because we want to continue to improve and transform research in ways that meet changing consumer needs and changing marketplace trends. So I'm thrilled to be here today to talk about voice tech, as I believe, like you, Betsy, that it is already transforming our lives. And I'm very passionate about research that involves all aspects of voice. So, Betsy, as we get started today, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
How did you get interested in voice?
So for me, it truly was a natural offshoot of my e-commerce work, which is great. I saw it really melding together, but I also was just curious on my own. I started doing my own desk research into it. I had my own device at home. And I have to say though, what really got me hooked was attending this Global Voice Summit back in 2019 when it was held in Newark. And I went with my insights partner, Icy Lee. I have to say, after we attended the summit, we wanted to spread the word about voice and its importance. And so we conducted an internal share out session on voice commerce with cross-functional teams. And, we wanted to make sure we were sharing that, how important this new technology was, and also demonstrate why, Mars Wrigley really needed to pursue it while it was in its nascent stage. And for us, it's really been full steam ahead ever since. From that first share out, what was amazing was just hearing, from other Mars Wrigley colleagues and insights and other functions. They started to reach out to us because they wanted to get involved. They were interested in the space. And what we quickly realized was that voice was far bigger than just commerce alone.
So, Betsy, can you talk a little bit more about why you feel that voice is so much bigger than just commerce alone?
The way that we're now looking at voice really is a lever that can be used along the whole consumer shopper journey, starting with awareness to consideration to conversion. In fact, we're looking at voice as an integral component in an omni-channel strategy for ourselves. With regard to commerce, voice is the most curated of the channels. When you think of physical stores, if a shopper walks into a physical store and looks at a product category, they can look down the whole aisle and see in one quick glance many different offerings. Is, fascinating with voice, and why we're considering it far more curated is a shopper can only listen to one option at a time. you can only select one option at a time. So that means we have to be even more careful in understanding what gets served up in this voice space. Just think of the difference, right? In a store, you could see 100 to 200 products in an aisle. When you look at a laptop for products, it could be that you're seeing 10 to 12 in that first glance. On your phone, it might be 3 to 5. But the thing that really forced us to concentrate on voice at Mars Wrigley was the fact that only one item can be served up at a time. And so from that, it, just demonstrated that, manufacturers, ourselves included, need to have well-defined voice commerce strategies. And because of that, my partner, Icy, and I created a voice roadmap with goals and guardrails.
So Betsy, can you talk a little bit about how things have evolved at Mars since that first share out on voice?
We've actually done a lot, Shari. We've held cross-functional global brainstorm sessions, though a lot of them had to be virtual because of COVID. But we did it to come up with ideas for where we wanted to play with voice commerce and voice technology. We identified areas where we were interested in pursuing voice for different functions, from marketing to media to sale. We've actually written some charters. We've interviewed and talked with experts in the field, and we came up with different focus areas that we wanted to pursue, but then we needed to prioritize them. Given that this was a new area for Mars to pursue, we really wanted to build a test and learn plan in voice technology and commerce. That's really where, kind of how our charters have supported us. We felt we really need to get out there and do test and learns, but it's not just kind of do a test and learn. It's all about test and learn and fail, and then course correct, and then try again. What we really want to do is test and learn now before voice really takes off for our categories. So we needed some custom research to be done, which is great, because we wanted to understand that human interaction and behavior with this technologically advanced device. But, we wanted to understand it in the moment, and this was all during COVID. Happily, I can say that's where you and Radius came in to help us. So, Shari, can I ask you to tell us, or tell the audience, how Radius has helped solve this need for Mars, and how, Radius could not only help us, but help other companies with voice research?
So at Radius, we recognize that voice technology needs to be tackled as something that you learn from and that you learn with, right? So like your journey, Betsy, I had that aha moment about voice 2 years ago. We were competing in a challenge to develop a new approach for in-the-moment research to better understand women's grooming, that is shaving in the shower. We needed a solution that could help us tap into women's behaviors, attitudes, and needs while they were in their personal space and during their personal time. So we realized that we could deploy these voice survey experiences actually through the Alexa or Google Home devices, which live in people's personal spaces and in their personal lives. So that led us on a journey to better understand the impact of voice assistants and voice technology from many different viewpoints that helped us really transform the way we think about research and the way we conduct research. And so what we realize is that we need to conduct research in voice in ways that really match the situation. So we can conduct research on how people use their voice devices, and we'll get into that in a moment, Betsy, as we speak more about the work that we've done together, but we can also deliver research on or through a voice device.
So Shari, I know you did, the research for us. Obviously, we worked together on a project and we tapped into how people use their voice devices. But can I ask you to tell us how you use the voices to conduct that in the moment research? Because to me, that was fascinating.
Yeah, so using voice is a really great way to capture in the moment reactions. For example, when somebody is sick, it's virtually impossible to do research with them. They don't feel up to typing or texting or even speaking to someone on the phone. They do, however, feel quite comfortable in engaging in our survey experience through Alexa or Google Home. In fact, we successfully completed a pilot using Alexa and Google Home to connect with people while they were home sick, experiencing cough and cold symptoms. We delivered a survey experience and asked people how they were caring for themselves, how they decided which treatments they would use, simply by asking them to speak to their voice assistant. Since the first pilot and proof of concept, we've solved many business issues using voice devices that capture that in the moment experience or in the moment behaviors and attitudes. So we've used it to unpack beauty routines on how women care for their skin. And it's great because we can see how they're actually doing their daily beauty routines. We call this solution Connect Live, and it's worked well for understanding a range of different types of things. So food preparation and cooking decisions. It's also really great for that unboxing experience. So when someone first opens a product, they can live stream their unboxing experience. They can talk about how something looks, how it smells, and they could really talk about their experience, not only of opening the product, but then also of using the product. So all that work is really what led me to have great conversations with you, Betsy, around your business issues and voice. And it's important to the work that you're doing. And we both know the importance of voice, how much it's permeating society seamlessly and in a really stealth manner. We see it appearing in homes, on appliances, home security. Car companies are really getting involved in even advertising their cars and all the different voice capabilities that their cars have. We also see it being used with big box stores to manage their supply chains. And we see it being used in entertainment and all sorts of different ways that people are getting knowledge using their voice assistants or voice technology.
Yeah, you're spot on, Shari. I mean, it's unbelievable seeing what's happened with voice smart speakers in the last year. In the US, we have seen in the last year that almost 20 million more smart speakers are in people's homes. We're seeing that search is moving more and more to voice. So globally, 27% of search is now being made on voice devices. And then with people being home so much more in 2020 because of COVID, we saw a huge leap in smart speaker usage last year. We're also seeing that voice technology is the fastest growing technology in the last 40 years. It's growing faster than Amazon.com did. And, me personally, I think of Amazon.com as a company that grew exponentially in a short span of time, and voice is growing faster than that. Additionally, the adoption rate of smart speakers is growing faster than adoption rates of Amazon Prime memberships. And many people now even have more than one device in their home, which I think talks to what you were talking about, the in the moment research, that you now can capture those learnings because people have these devices, situated in different places in their home for different needs during the day and evening. But a key reason that, that this all caught on so quickly, or what, kind of we believe, is that, why did voice catch on so quickly? It's really about the fact that it's an innate behavior. It's something that most of us do every day. And it's in fact what we're doing right now, which is speaking.
Right. So Betsy, let's now talk about the exciting research that we partnered on. Do you want to share what you were trying to solve for?
As I said earlier, Mars Wrigley, we really wanted to better understand how people talk to their smart devices. We need to understand it for our categories. And, the ways that we needed to understand it was really about, how were people asking general questions of their devices? What product information are they asking for? How are they conducting searches using voice? And then even, when are they adding to list? When are they adding to cart? And when are they buying? What are the, kind of triggers and barriers that are, occurring along this way? And so I think we were very fortunate that Radius was playing in this space and really could help us.
And what was really helpful in creating the right methodology for your custom research was that you already had generated hypotheses and key questions that you wanted to address. So we used those as a springboard, and that led us to proposing a 2-week community, which in the first week, we let these voice users really go naturally with how they normally use their voice devices, and we learned from them. And then in that second week, we worked together, you and I, to create those voice activities for the respondents to undertake.
I totally agree. Part of the reason why we had such a successful research project was that we really did collaborate, you and your team, and then, kind of Icy and I from day one. That really led to the success with this research. I think Radius did a great job setting up research to capture the true in the moment uses of voice devices in people's homes. You also did a great job, asking the participants to record and try new things with their smart speakers that revolved around Mars categories. We were so pleased with the results that we got, which you and your team really, did a great job of boiling it down to the 5 things that Mars Wrigley needs to win in the voice commerce and technology space, which was hugely helpful.
And I really appreciate you acknowledging that. One of our overarching strengths or skills is our ability to synthesize research learning into these bite-sized, customer-focused, actionable learnings and recommendations. And I know the custom research we did provided great insights, right? So like there isn't just one simple path to purchase for voice, but rather there are these paths. And that we learned by observing the confection buyers, how they tackle those different activities and how they engage with their voice devices, what worked well for them, where they were successful, also the roadblocks they experienced and the obstacles. All this really helped us think about those strategies that would benefit Mars Wrigley.
And that's exactly, essentially what you did. You've helped Mars Wrigley move forward. Not only did you open our eyes to the different pathways, Radius also helped us glean kind of top 10 retailer must-dos to get ahead in the voice commerce space. We want to be able to go out and demonstrate to our retail partners and customers that we want to win in this space, and we want them to come along the journey with us. Lastly, though, and most importantly, the custom research and the results that we gathered through this project really led Mars Wrigley to building their internal and external strategies for voice commerce and technology. We are living and breathing it right now. We're embarking on it right now. So it's been a great experience partnering with Radius to unearth these key nuggets, especially in this rapidly evolving space. So a big thank you to you and your team.
And our team really feels, and I do too, that it's a terrific experience working with you. So we really, truly enjoy our collaborative partnership. I think the best work always happens when we think about ourselves as partners, committed to driving growth and ensuring success. And I know we are truly excited to continue our voice journey together with you.
Global voice community, if you have any questions for Shari and I, please reach out. If you'd like to continue the discussion, talk about research, we're here for you. So thanks so much. Have a good day.